The auction hall on Kharos Station reeked of rust, recycled air, and quiet cruelty. It was a place where dignity went to die, traded for credits beneath flickering hololights and the laughter of those who had long forgotten what mercy meant. Rows of spectators, mercenaries, traders, nobles, and slavers, sat behind transparent shields, sipping drinks while lives were displayed like damaged cargo. Elias Rourke hated places like this. He hadn't come to Kharos Station for the auction. He was a human trade envoy, sent to negotiate mineral rights with 3 minor systems. But diplomacy in the outer sectors often required patience, and patience meant waiting. And waiting meant seeing things you couldn't unsee. The auctioneer's voice boomed across the chamber, oily and amused. Next lot. Female Lyrithi species. Former combat servitor. 1 limb remaining. Damaged goods but still functional. A ripple of laughter spread through the hall. Elias stiffened. The platform rose slowly from beneath the floor, revealing the slave. She was smaller than most Lyrithi, her violet skin dulled by scars and malnutrition. Where 4 arms should have been, only 1 remained. The rest ended in cleanly cauterized stumps, signs of punishment, not accident. A shock collar rested against her slender neck, pulsing faintly with each breath. She didn't cry. She didn't beg. She stood there, head lowered, golden eyes empty but burning with something stubborn beneath the exhaustion. Half price, the auctioneer laughed. Who wants a cripple? Starting bid at 20 credits. More laughter. Elias felt something twist in his chest. Around him, bids flickered lazily. Not for labor. Not for care. The whispers were crude, calculating how much use could still be extracted from a broken body. He looked away, then looked back. And that was when their eyes met. For a single heartbeat, the noise of the hall faded. The Lyrithi female lifted her gaze, meeting Elias's directly. There was no plea in her expression, only expectation. Not hope, expectation. As if she had already accepted the cruelty of the universe, and was waiting to see if this human would prove it right. Elias stood. The motion drew attention immediately. Humans rarely bid at slave auctions. They were considered sentimental, unpredictable, dangerous to profit margins. "I'll take her," Elias said. The hall went silent, then erupted into laughter. The auctioneer blinked. "You, the crippled one. You understand what you're buying, human." "I understand exactly," Elias replied calmly. "I bid 20 credits," the auctioneer sneered. Elias didn't even glance at the display. 2,000. The laughter died instantly. Gasps followed. "No one bid?" the auctioneer asked, stunned, scanning the room. No one moved. The gavel slammed down. "Sold." The shock collar disengaged with a sharp click. The Lyrithi staggered slightly, unused to standing without pain surging through her spine. 2 guards moved to escort her, but Elias was already stepping forward. "I'll take custody now," he said. The guards hesitated, then nodded. Credits were credits. As Elias led her away, he heard whispers behind him. "Stupid human. Waste of money. She's useless." He didn't turn around. The medbay aboard Elias's ship was quiet, sterile, and warm, everything the auction hall was not. The Lyrithi sat on the edge of the bed, tense, her single hand clenched in her lap. "I'm not going to hurt you," Elias said gently, setting a tray of food within reach. "You're free." She flinched. Free. The word clearly meant nothing to her. "You bought me," she said finally, her voice rough but controlled. "Why?" Elias leaned against the wall, choosing honesty over comfort. Because what they did to you was wrong. And because I couldn't walk away. She studied him carefully. Humans are known for lies wrapped in kindness. Some of us, he admitted. Not all. Silence stretched between them. My name is Sarah, she said at last. I was a defense tactician before I was captured. Elias's brow furrowed. A tactician? Yes. I commanded border skirmishes. Until my superiors surrendered to pirates. I refused. They sold me to make a point. Her gaze dropped to her missing limbs. They succeeded. Elias shook his head. They failed. Over the following days, Sarah healed. Slowly, painfully. But her mind remained sharp. She asked questions about human governance, ethics, military structure. Elias answered honestly, often surprised by the depth of her insight. She noticed patterns he missed. Predicted trade disputes before they escalated. Pointed out vulnerabilities in station defenses without ever leaving the ship. You see the galaxy like a battlefield, Elias observed one evening. Because it is, she replied. Some simply hide the weapons better. The turning point came when pirates attacked near Kharos Station, an organized strike far beyond typical raiding. Elias's ship was forced into emergency docking as the station's defenses faltered. Chaos spread. Sarah watched the tactical feeds silently, eyes narrowing. They're probing, she said. Not attacking yet. They're testing response times. The station commander dismissed her input. She's a former slave, he scoffed. We don't take orders from broken merchandise. Elias stepped forward. You will, he said coldly. Or you'll lose the station. When the pirates struck in full, Sarah's predictions proved devastatingly accurate. She directed countermeasures, rerouted power grids, and coordinated civilian evacuations with ruthless efficiency. The pirates were crushed. Afterwards, silence filled the command center. The same officials who laughed at her now stared in stunned respect. The station commander cleared his throat. It seems we misjudged you. Sarah met his gaze. You did. Repeatedly. Word spread fast. A one-limbed former slave had saved Kharos Station. And a human had been the one who listened. Weeks later, Elias stood before an interstellar tribunal. Slavery was technically regulated in the outer sectors, but what Elias had done, publicly challenging its morality, had sparked outrage and debate. Sarah stood beside him, no collar, no chains, her posture proud. She is not property, Elias said to the council. She is a person. And she represents millions like her who are discarded, mocked, and silenced. The chamber buzzed with tension. Then Sarah spoke. You mocked me because I was broken, she said calmly. But it was not my body that made me dangerous. It was my will. And the human who refused to look away gave that will a voice again. The vote was narrow. But history rarely turns on comfort. Kharos Station became the first trade hub to ban sentient slavery outright. Others followed, not out of kindness but fear. Fear of humans who did not ignore injustice. Fear of voices once silenced now speaking back. Months later, Sarah stood on the observation deck of Elias's ship, watching stars streak past. You changed my fate, she said quietly. Elias shook his head. You changed it yourself. I just opened the door. She smiled, a real one this time. They mocked the slave, she said. But they will remember the human who refused to look away. And across the galaxy they did. Because humans weren't the strongest species. They weren't the most advanced. But when faced with cruelty, they noticed. And sometimes that was enough to change everything.